Hello there, Scorpio. Welcome to DragonTaleTarot. My name is Ariel, and this is your 2020 year in review overview reading. This is going to be about all the major themes that the year of 2020 will be bringing to you, and I'm really excited to do this reading because it's a general version of a reading that I've been doing for many years for my personal clients, and it's been very popular. I actually do this reading for myself at the beginning of the year every year because it's amazing like how much it brings to light as we go into a new year. So thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. If you are here returning, thank you yet again for joining us as we explore more of the mysteries of you and the universe. If you have not yet done so, I do invite you to hit that subscribe button and join the Dragon family. Also give it that dragon claw up by clicking the like button and let me know that you enjoy this content. First, a few quick other notes is that this is a general reading. It will not resonate with every single Scorpio out there. If the messages do resonate with you, they're meant for you. If they don't resonate with you, kick them on out to another Scorpio, but keep in mind that, you know, these timelines can sometimes be fluid. If something doesn't line up exactly with it right now, it could be coming, you know, further in the future for you than for others. So just take it as it resonates. This will mostly correspond to Scorpio Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs, and all Scorpio cross watchers are welcome to join us as well. If you're looking for any information regarding a personal reading with me or any information like about the card decks that I use, that will all be down in the description box. So let's go ahead and get started. I always talk a little bit about the astrology patterns that are going to be affecting all Scorpios, and then we're going to be doing a lot of oracle cards and also a full 12-month card spread with the tarot. So I always say I've been putting this out there in these readings because it's always something that I use. I've been using these for many years in my own astrology practice. They're great for people whether you're just starting to get into astrology or you've been at it for a very long time like I have. It doesn't matter. This is a great little book. I'm not paid by Llewellyn, y'all, but I do enjoy their little astrology pocket planner. So the reason I like this is because day by day it's going to give you moon phases, major planet movements, and a full ephemeris for, I think, 3 years. It goes from like at least 2 years, 2019, 2020, and then it goes all the way through 2021. So you've got 3 full years of astrology patterns here in the back, which is pretty amazing. So Scorpio, I won't go on too much at length about your astrology because I want to get deeper into the cards today with you. And if you stick with my channel, I always talk a little bit about the astrology patterns that are affecting you month by month, you know, and bi-monthly actually. So, you know, you'll get a lot of astrology info if you follow my channel as well as the card readings. But your ruling planet is Pluto, so we're going to focus on him for a moment. Pluto is a big player right now in this year of 2020, and a big reason for that is because it is traveling along with the planet Saturn and the planet Jupiter this year, and all 3 are in Capricorn. And when we have, you know, 3 planets or more like that, we call it a stellium when they're traveling along like that, very concentrated. And so last year, you know, Pluto has been in Capricorn for quite a long time. It started late 2007, 2008. It was already getting into that sign. Pluto has the honor of being the slowest moving known orbiting planet that we have around us. So it's really a slow mover. It takes a long time through any sign. I believe that it's not going to be leaving Capricorn until 2024. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a little while long still yet to go. It's, you know, we've got 4 more years. We've already been in it for quite a bit of time. And so what has changed about that dynamic is that last year Saturn went into Capricorn as well, so that means Capricorn and Pluto were traveling along. It's a big reason why 2019 was quite tough for a lot of people, is because those 2 planets are heavy. I would say Pluto and Saturn, of all the planets, are the most heavy. I jokingly call them doom and gloom sometimes. Not that they're all about that, and I take that as well because I'm a Capricorn and Saturn's my ruling sign, so I'm part of that equation. Doesn't mean it's all bad, but I jokingly call it that because these are usually the more like serious planets. I mean, they're about deep transformations and foundational energy. So that is why so many people are feeling that there's a complete rehaul going on in their life. Nothing gets to stay the same. Everything's being, it's like that Saturn energy in Capricorn is ripping everything up by its roots, by its foundation, and laying a solid new foundation. And there at the same time, your ruling planet of Pluto is creating these deep, absolutely profound transformations, because that is what you're about, Scorpio. You are the most powerful sign of the zodiac. You're not the oldest, you're the 8th sign, but you are the most powerful because you represent both the best and the worst of human nature. That's why I always joke that Scorpio's a little like, you know, one shoulder's got the devil and the other's got the angel, right? You know, it's like y'all can, you know, that's why some Scorpios have a terrible reputation for revenge and jealousy and all this kind of stuff. The higher vibration Scorpios, however, are incredibly healing and transformative and regenerative and amazing and deeply psychological and understanding of, you know, human nature. So it's like pick your poison, Scorpio. You guys can go to the depths or the heights with equal speed. So it's a lot of power to be, you know, holding, to be, you know, it's like use your powers for good, please. Don't go to the dark side. But there's quite a lot to Scorpio. It's one of my favorite signs. I love talking about it. So anyway, yeah, it's the phoenix from the ashes. That's another real symbol for Scorpio, is the phoenix, you know, rising from the ruins, right? And so that's what a lot of people are experiencing. That's why it's been very difficult. But the good thing is that this year, Jupiter will be traveling in Capricorn as well, joining up with those two. And whereas Saturn and Pluto can be our little doom and gloom, our kind of heavy planets, Jupiter is an opposite. He is bold, he's optimistic, he's good fortune, he's expansive, you know, not only just like the planet that's big and expansive and huge and noticeable, right? But it is a benefactor. It is a, you know, great benefactor of the zodiac, of the planets. And so those three traveling together changes the dynamic. Instead of it all just being, you know, super, super challenging and rigorous, it's going to have a softer tone, a little bit bolder approach, easier approach in a way, a luckier feeling. So when you're doing that deep, heavy work, if you're really working on yourself from the inside out and being very upfront and having a lot of integrity about your actions, Scorpio, this will be a really great year for you. Because Capricorn gets along with Scorpio. It's not a bad alignment at all. And for the universal chart for Scorpio, Pluto will be moving through, and Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, all are going to be in that universal 3rd house. The 3rd house is Gemini, so it absolutely highlights your communication, Scorpio, which is interesting because Scorpios are somewhat known for being mysterious, not always saying everything they're thinking inside, right? You know, playing their cards a little close to the chest, keeping their secrets. But this is a time in, you know, the universal patterns where it's really favored if you open up and you talk about what's going on and you're really communicative. So the more that you're honest and truthful and clear, and you know, Scorpio has such a great way of being very incisive. It can get right to the heart of the matter. And the more that you do that in your communication and come from a place of higher mindedness, not from a place of revenge or jealousy or manipulation, but coming from, you know, those higher sides of the Scorpio personality, which is to heal, which is to regenerate, which is to transform and transcend in a very beautiful way. It's going to be great. You know, there's just so much power that you have at your fingertips right now. The other thing that I just want to point out quickly is that, you know, Pluto always goes into about a 5-month retrograde. All the planets outside of Mars, you know, outside of that asteroid belt, all go into retrogrades for about 5 months out of the year. And Pluto is one of those. So the time of Pluto's retrograde is going to start on April 25th, and then it's going to go through May, June, July, August, September, and then it will be going direct at the very beginning of October on October 3rd. Don't take that retrograde too hard because that's just the normal pattern for all of those outer planets. But I will say that when those outer planets are retrograde, you will feel them. I know I do. Saturn does the same thing for me being a Capricorn. And I love it, of course, when Saturn's going direct. To Scorpio, you may feel the same way. You love it when Pluto's going direct. But when it's retrograde, it's kind of like that's the period of the year. It's like it's almost like half on, half off because it's direct 7 months and retrograde about 5, right? So it's like during those 7 months when it's going direct, it's time like, you know, right now from here to end of April, you have your ruling planet direct. So it's a good time for you to be moving forward, making your plans, doing all that good stuff. When it's retrograde, it's a more like, you know, it's a phase where you pull in a little bit more. It doesn't mean that you can't get things done, but you're a little more introspective when your ruling planet is retrograde. I always notice that for myself, and I'm sure you will as well. So let's go ahead and get into your cards. Can't wait to do this and see what's coming up for you guys. So, dear angels, dear divine beings of light, guardians, ancestors, helpers, and healers, please be with the Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising sign of Scorpio right now as we do their 2020 overview reading. Please protect their energy as well as mine throughout this session, and please bring through clear, accurate messages for their highest good. Thank you so much, my guides. Look at that. So, Scorpio synchronicity. That is a beautiful card. Number 87. I would even recommend looking up online. You could check the angel number 87 and what that means for you. But to me, the number 8 is a card of infinity and strength. And that 7 is a spiritual seeking and learning card. So those two numbers together, very powerful. And then when you add those together, 8 plus 7 is a 15. And then you get from that a number 6. The 6 is the Lover's card. So you may feel this could, for some of you, be a very strong relationship here. And I think also with that, you know, communication house being very highlighted for you, that comes up. But notice the synchronicities this year, Scorpio. Anytime you see like recurring numbers or recurring patterns, or even, you know, colors that keep coming back up again and again, or just patterns in your life, notice the synchronicities. Notice those things that seem to be, you know, you just... maybe no one else would see it, but you do. And so you know that that means something for you and you can act on it. So don't take that for granted this year of 2020. So now let's pull a guardian angel card for you, Scorpio. We're going to see what your angels are wanting for you for 2020 and what they have to say. You know, what is it that they want you to tap into? What are your guides, your ancestors around you really wanting to provide for you this year? Angel of decisions, and look at, there's another number 8 coming here, Scorpio. So this could be a year where you're making a lot of choices, and if you ever feel stuck, you know, your angels, your guides, your ancestors are coming through to say, you know, ask us for help, Scorpio. They, you know, angels don't meddle in our lives. We have to ask them to intervene. So, you know, if you've got all the details, and this is a very strong year of thought and analyzation for you because of all that Gemini energy, you know, that your planet is going through. So to me, you know, you may really be working some things. You're really having to use your mind a lot. And yeah, if you're stuck, it's time to reach out and ask for that kind of divine help from above. So let's, ooh, that one just wanted to pop right out. So I'm going to take it. in the Sacred Destiny Oracle, here comes the Solitude card, Scorpio. And Scorpio, you are a sign that likes your alone time. You really do. You can be quite the introvert sometimes. And so this is a beautiful card with that, full moon rising in the back, and, the person there in the boat on the water. To me, that really symbolizes so much of your energy, because you are a water sign. You're very deep, very spiritual, very mystical. And that those full moon patterns, interestingly enough, that moon card coming up in there makes me think that there's something about those full moon cycles for you this year that are going to be really important. And really soon, actually on January 10th, we do have a full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer, which is a water sign. So that's very complementary energy to you, Scorpio. So definitely be paying attention to those moon signs. And if you follow my channel, I do a reading every month for each full moon of the cycle of the month. So definitely check those out, because, or anybody on YouTube or anywhere else that does like a full moon reading every month, that's really going to be important for you. And also just taking time for yourself. At times when you really feel the need, don't be afraid to just say, you know what, I just need a little time to regroup, to recenter, because you have so much powerful energy that's coming to you this year, Scorpio. So let's pull a card from the Hidden World Oracle. We're going to see what comes up as the place that your soul and your life path this year is really kind of leading you to, where your spirit is residing this year. Ooh, look at that, Scorpio. Oh, to me, look, I'm already seeing the synchronicity here in your reading. The healing temple of the lunar light, and there's that moon again. So that's an absolute confirmation that, yes, those lunar cycles, those full moon cycles are very important to your healing, to your enlightenment, the life cycles, the energy healing, the communication. So, if any of you, do Reiki, or if you have done Reiki before, this could be a really good time for that, because energy healing's coming up. And, just noticing your cycles, noticing how you feel at different times of the month, and honoring, when you need to just take some time for yourself and when you just need to be in solitude. That's so beautiful. So let's move Mr. Dragon. He says hello. Let's move him over here, because I'm going to pull some spirit animal cards for you next. I'm going to do 4 of these, because I'm going to do kind of a winter, spring, summer, fall theme. Now, if one of them feels like it is more appropriate to a different time of year for you, totally feel free to flip it. This is general. So again, take it how it fits, because some people it may read a little different for others. So don't worry about that. Just let's see what comes up. From our animal guides, from the beautiful animal spirits that we just want to talk to for Scorpio, to see which of you wants to come help them this year. That feels right. Okay, look at this. Oh my goodness, Scorpio, all birds. I love this. Oh my goodness, every one of your animal spirits this year is a bird. And I'm a huge bird lover, bird watcher, so it's very exciting to me. So let's see. The first one, this is for your winter as we begin the year, is the Swan Spirit. Time for a deep dive. And Scorpio, you are all about emotional depth and deep diving. Oh my goodness, this is the time for you, to really go deeply within, to heal from the inside out. The swan is also very much connected to music, beauty, love, aesthetics, the arts. I actually play the harp, and the swan is connected to the harp. It's a very old symbol in Celtic lore. So yeah, what a beautiful card. And music may be particularly healing for you at this time, Scorpio. And you have that 60, you know, I always notice the numbers, and it's a 6, you know, so, you know, to me, that's really saying something about relationship and love as well. And then what doesn't really change, look at this as we go into the spring, 5 plus 1 adds up to the 6 yet again. Sandpiper spirit is be playful. So Scorpio, this is really a, you know, it's a heavy year in some ways. There is that very deep, profound Capricorn energy at play for you. But I would say that this is really telling you, make sure to, you know, to have some lighthearted moments, to do things that make you laugh, that lighten your, you know, mood up some, because it's like, it can't all be deep and heavy. And, you know, the swan is the deep dive, but the sandpiper is like, you know, be playful, be a little more extroverted, you know, once the spring starts coming up. I absolutely love that. So then we get into the summertime, and the vulture comes through, and I love the vulture. 6 plus 3. You add those together, another 6, and then we're getting that 3, add them together, you get the 9, which always is a number of like a completion of a cycle to me. And the vulture, you know, when I think about this, it is kind of scorpionic. It's a little Scorpio-ish, because I'll tell you, I mean, the vulture is, I call him almost like he's like the undertaker of the natural world. He cleans things up, right? Without the vulture, nature would not be in balance, because he comes through. It's like if there's carrion, if there's, you know, a carcass or anything out there that needs to be really cleaned up, and he will not waste it. He will take care of that, keep the, you know, the forest clean, keep, you know, disease from spreading or anything from getting out of hand. So the vulture is absolutely an incredible being, an incredible energy too. Absolutely love him. It also tells me that you will be kind of probably digesting some of the things that you've gone through in life. You won't be wasting those experiences. You will have learned from them. And anything that's been difficult, it's like, yeah, I can handle that. I can take care of it. I'll transform it into something good. The vulture takes, you know, an old animal carcass that nobody seems to want and doesn't seem like it has any value, but he says, you know what? I can handle that. I can eat that. I can turn it into, you know, a meal that will keep me going, and I will at the same time clean this forest up for you. So pretty awesome. And then look who else comes up, Scorpio. This is for autumn, and you have the owl spirit. You see clearly now. Ah, I love my owls so much. I am crazy about owls. We have some amazing barred owls around my house, and I love it when I hear them hooting. It makes me laugh and smile, because it's just kind of comical the way they get hooting around each other. But the owl to me is that being able to see clearly through the darkness. There is, again, to me, a little bit of Scorpio energy to the owl, because he is a nocturnal creature. He's a nighttime being. And Scorpio, you're all about those deep, dark, mysterious depths and being able to see clearly. So the owl is really, to me, a great animal spirit to have on your side, especially when you want to be able to see clearly, when you're looking into something clearly and you don't want to be deceived. The owl is your friend. So yeah, let's dig into just another deck before we start the tarot. This is an astrology reading card deck, so I'm going to pull one of each of the 3 parts of the astrology chart. We've got the zodiac sign, the planet, and the house. So first we're going to start with the zodiac sign, and we're going to ask Spirit, what zodiac sign is most important to you, Scorpio, this year? It could be your own sign, but it also could be someone else's sign. It could be somebody that you're going to meet or somebody that's important to you. It could be a prominent part of your own birth chart, you know, that's really important to focus on. But let's see what Spirit has to say for you. So Scorpio, the Virgo card came up, and Virgo is a very healing sign. It's actually a very complementary sign to Scorpio, because it creates what's called a sextile pattern in astrology to Scorpio. So it's a very healing. Interestingly enough, let me see if I can quickly find the Scorpio card in this deck, because I want to show you if you have not seen it before. Let's see, where's Scorpio? There you are. So yeah, look at the symbols. Look at that. So look at Scorpio and look at Virgo. Okay? So those two glyphs, those symbols are very similar. You see that? Where Virgo is pointing inward and Scorpio is pointing outward. Both of these are that M, you know, that stability. It looks like an M, you know, and that's kind of that earth base. But with Virgo, the intensity is pointed within. And with Scorpio, the intensity is pointed outwards. So there is a very strong similarity, even in your symbols. That is very, very complementary. So with Virgo energy, this is a year of healing. This is a year of, you know, self-care, and also, you know, organizing your life. Also, you know, there's a cleansing, a detoxing, a purging, because, you know, Virgo deals with purification. It deals with eating well. So make sure that you're eating well, taking care of your habits, your routines in a very positive way. Yeah, it's a very helpful sign as well. Virgo is about service to humanity and how can they help, you know, the whole. Interestingly enough, I would say that Scorpio is very healing as well, you know, on that psychological, emotional level. So really, when you put Virgo and Scorpio together, it can be very powerfully healing. It's a beautiful combination. So next we're going to get into our planet cards, and we're going to see which planet comes up strongest for you for 2020 Scorpio. I like this. Now, this is a major asteroid in our orbit called Vesta. And Vesta is a goddess energy. She's all, and to me, this actually goes right along with Virgo. Like if the old Roman days, the Vestal virgins were, you know, like high priestess type energy. And so they were under, you know, the you know, understanding and knowledge of Vesta. And so it's the goddess within, the sacred spiritual center and quiet dignity. So to me, this along with Virgo coming out, those are strong together. That really tells me that there is a very deep healing, a very deep purification coming. And it's like the sacred fire burning brighter within you this year, Scorpio. And it's, I think, burning away for many of you a lot of the old, so that the new can truly be reborn. And now we're going to pull a card from the house cards to see what area of your life all this energy is playing out on for 2020. Look at that, Scorpio. What a spiritual, powerful year with the 12th house. This is the Pisces house, and Pisces is the opposite of Virgo. So both of those signs are very sensitive. I would say Virgo is very physically and practically sensitive, more earth-based sensitive, while Pisces is more spiritually and emotionally sensitive. They're very sensitive to, you know, moods and feelings and spirit changes. So this is an area of your life that can feel overwhelming, and you yield to a greater cause or power. Oh my goodness, I hear my birds outside. I love my wild birds, and the towies are starting to make their noise just as I start talking about this. So they're really chirping up. To me, this is a house of transcendence. I was born with 3 planets in my 12th house, so I know it can be a little bit emotionally overwhelming, absolutely, but it's also very spiritually powerful. So Scorpio, this could be a year where you start to become more psychic, you start to become more intuitive, you start to listen more, you know, to your spiritual guides, to, you know, your ancestor spirits who have passed on. You could get a lot of very deep and profound messages through your dreams. So also be, you know, might even want to keep a dream journal this year, Scorpio. So now we're going to get into the tarot. I'm going to be doing the initial 12 months, one card for each month with this deck, the Grand Luxe, and then we will clarify with the Rider-Waite if necessary on some of these. So Spirit, I'd ask for 12 cards from the tarot, one to represent each month for 2020 for our Scorpios here. Let's see what you've got in store for them. Ooh, it's a very interesting energy. It feels different, honestly, than most of the signs I've read for so far. Goodness. Woo, yeah, lots of stuff coming through, Scorpio. So I'm going to go one by one and we're going to do them each. So 5 of Cups comes up for the beginning of this year. So Scorpio, even though we're going into New Year, new energy, you might not be feeling the most positive. It's like, even though you know not all is lost, a lot of my Scorpios out there have really come through some challenging times, possibly some romantic disappointments, that you're still kind of processing. You're still in that grieving period, but remember that it's not all lost, and we're gonna clarify that 5 of Cups for you, because that is a little bit of an emotional card. It is. It's a little bit tough. Yeah, and I like a lot of you Scorpios, not all obviously because this is general, but that Page of Cups is there. So it's like a lot of you feel like you're really owed some kind of an apology, or you're hoping for a reconciliation of some kind with that Page of Cups coming through. That could also be, you know, a new romantic message, perhaps a new romantic partner on the horizon. Which would cheer up some of you if that is what you're looking and hoping for. I think that February, it looks like it starts to improve, at least on the area of finance and, you know, things like that, resources, because we've got that Ace of Pentacles. Very, very powerful divine intervention on something very manifest and very solid. Even if it doesn't have to do with money for all of you, to me that's always something very, you know, solid that manifests, that you can actually kind of hold and touch. It's on that material level plane where you can really, you know, tap into it. It's not just like all in your head or in your dreams. It's like, oh, finally I got paid for that work I did, or finally, you know, I'm getting a better job, or something is coming through. Ooh, and look at that, Scorpio. For some of you, that's going to be like a big love offer coming through with the Lovers card, and greater communication, because this is a Gemini card. And like I said, your Gemini house is so highlighted. So I can read that a couple different ways because this is general. So for some Scorpios, this is going to be a really great love offer, or taking a relationship to the next level. For some of you, it's like a new relationship that seems extremely fated and meant to be. Some of you that are waiting for that reconciliation or apology, you might just be getting it and things start to really come together in February. But overall, that's a super positive card. It could also just be greater communication. Could be that great new job or that great new partnership, you know, clicks together for many of you. Then we go into March, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, and to me that's the wheel turning in your favor. That is the month of Pisces, and so that's a very positive energy, you know, moving forward, gaining in momentum. Going into April, we have the King of Cups for that month. So to me, that is your own energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You're stepping into your power very strongly. Then we're getting into the month of May. And May, I do not like this guy. He is the sneakiest dude in the tarot. He is an underhanded little creep, and so we don't really like this dude. 7 of Swords to me always shows some sort of deception, something that's not quite above board. We know you Scorpios do not like that because you're very focused on many times on rooting out things that, you know, you can't see coming. It's like you do not like to be surprised. You're a lot like me, the Capricorn. You don't like to have, you know, you don't like to be caught off guard, and you certainly don't like to have people doing deceptive stuff. So let us clarify that and see, why is the Seven of Swords here? Why is this sneaky guy coming around my Scorpios? Woo! Okay, Scorpio, look at that. Ace of Pentacles came back up again. So watch your money. That's what I'm going to say about that. Watch your money. Watch your resources. Don't trust somebody that seems underhanded. Make sure nobody's been getting a hold of your, you know, credit cards, your bank account numbers. Absolutely keep an eye on that. Because there's some really good things coming your way. And you know, sometimes when that happens, the grifters come around, right? The people that want to come take advantage of you come around, yeah? So be sure that you're, you know, being, you know, responsible with your resources, and don't just trust anyone. Don't make a bad investment. That's another thing, you know. It's like if something seems too good to be true, Scorpio, it probably is. So just be aware of that. Then we're going into the month of June. Look at that, 10 of coins. I'm telling you, some of my Scorpios, you're going to be making the money this year. You're going to be making the money this year because 2 Ace of Pentacles and now the 10 of coins coming up. My goodness, let's pull a card on top of that guy. Let's see what comes up on here. Yeah, and look at that. Queen of Pentacles. So June is a power month. Look at that. Queen of Pentacles on top of the 10 of Pentacles. To me, so many of my Scorpios are really going to be finally feeling that, you know, they're getting what they're worth. They're getting what they're due. Things that they've been, you know, working hard for, finally coming back around. And even if your resources aren't huge, you know what I mean? It's like there's still just that feeling like it's enough. It's meeting your needs. You feel more solid within yourself, and you're knowing your self-worth. All that earth energy has to do with that. You know, Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles coming through. All this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, so it's earthy. It's nice and grounded and rooted. We like to see that. So April, May, June, July. There's that 3 of Swords, Scorpio. Who's hurting you? Who's breaking your heart? Oh, I don't want anyone breaking your heart. So let's see. I'm going to check and see what comes up as a clarifier for this. But, you know, 3 of Swords, honestly, a lot of times is, you know, it's emotional disappointment or a letdown or a heartbreak of some kind. And take it as it resonates, because if, you know, if nothing heartbreaking happens that month, it could just be that you're processing something that was hard from the past. That can be a big, you know, thing that comes up with that too, because I've had that happen to me where it's like, okay, nothing super heartbreaking happened in a month where I had a 3 of Swords card, but it's like a lot of times I'll feel like, yeah, I am processing, I am dealing with something from the past, so that can be a thing too. So why is this 3 of Swords here, Spirit? Yeah, there's got to be, I think for a lot of Scorpios, there's that Magician. So something around a new beginning, something around communication, and maybe it's letting out some of these things that have been hurting you for a long time. The Magician is a very Mercury energy, so to me it's very aligned with Gemini, with the Virgo, which are both prominent for you this year. So make sure that you're expressing yourself. Make sure that you're letting things out, Scorpio, because it's like that new beginning is there, and it's like you're really recreating your reality. And sometimes that really, you know, you need to let some things out before you can truly move forward. And so then, let's see, getting into August, getting into the deeper summer, this is the 3 of Cups. So 3 of Cups is a very positive card, celebration, good outcomes, good times with friends. So make sure to get out and socialize some, you know, during the month of August. There's Scorpio. Going into September, we have the 8 of Swords. So there is a stuck feeling that comes with this card. This is an intellectual card to me as well, of like an anxiety or feeling like, you're backed into a corner and you can't quite move out of it. But the thing about this card is it is very much a card of the mind, because it is that sword suits, it's air energy. So it's like, you know, she could get unstuck really easily because those bonds are really thin and those swords are nice and sharp, and she could just slice right through those and free herself. So Scorpio, to me, many times this is a card that reveals it's like your own power within to free yourself from a situation that's keeping you feeling mentally trapped. So let me pull a clarifier for her. Yeah, and I think you'll make that choice really fast, because you've got an 8 of Swords, then 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is very rapid movement. So September, I believe you'll be moving very rapidly past something that keeps you feeling stuck. Then you're going into the month of October. Look at that. King of Coins, another king is coming up into this year, and so that's a very solid king. You also had that Queen of Pentacles there, Scorpio, so you could also be bringing some really strong earthy energy people into your life, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. So let's just clarify him, see why that King of Coins is here. Yeah, and look at that, Scorpio. It's to help you get through this, because these dark nights of the soul are certainly part of what you're going through this year, because those, you know, heavy Capricorn energies from your planet, Jupiter and Saturn, are all in that Gemini house, and it's all to do with thought and the things that are going on in your mind. So if you're prone to anxiety or, you know, excessive worry or depression, there's nothing wrong at all with, you know, talking it out, or talking to a friend, or calling someone up, or even going to counseling or therapy just to help yourself get through those tough times, because there's, you know, there's no reason to just let yourself suffer with it, and you are going through so much amazing process right now. So then in your own month, that Scorpio month, look at that, the moon card is coming in, and like I said, these full moons this year are a really big deal for you. And look at that, this is Pisces energy. It's, to me, as well Cancer, because it is the moon. To me, use the powers of that owl spirit during this time, because to me there is that confusion that can come along, or a feeling of like deception. I'm not seeing everything totally clearly with that card. It's also a very emotional, obviously, and I believe, you know, the full moon that occurs in November will be very important to you as well. So think about, you know, take that in as we get closer to the month of November. Let's see why this moon card is here. Deep. Ah, I like it. So the Hierophant comes out on top of it. Part of it, Scorpio, is because there is a deeper commitment that you're either hoping for or something that you want to pursue. To me, the Hierophant is all about spiritual commitments. It can sometimes be about marriage as well, but to me, when it's on top of this moon, there's something about like spiritual mysteries, or understanding kind of the depths of the soul, you know, really wanting the key to those, you know, deeper inner spiritual mysteries. So then again, look at this. In December, at the end of the year, this Nine of Swords coming back up. So Scorpio, this Nine of Swords has come in twice into your reading. So I really think that for some of you, anxieties, fears, worries, doubts, all those kind of things that keep us awake at night has been a real factor for you. And at this end of the year, that's when it seems to pop up the most. Sometimes that's just because, you know, getting to the end of the year, we start really thinking about a lot of things, and we're clearing, you know, or, you know, surveying the year in review and things like that. And it can really get to us if we regret anything, or there's something we wish we had done differently. That could be a possibility for where that's coming from. But let's see, why is this Nine of Swords here? Yeah, because Scorpio, there's something that you want to be building. I feel that. It's interesting. The other time the Nine of Swords came up, it was right next to that King of Pentacles. Here it is, the Three of Pentacles coming up on top of it at the end. And so to me, Scorpio, there's something that you really want to be doing that makes you happy, that makes you feel not just happy but content deep in your soul, that gives your soul some stability and a feeling of groundedness. That's, I think, as well why that Hierophant's coming forward, because look at that Three of Pentacles always is, to me, there they are, bringing the blueprint, the plans, you know, to the architect to build a new structure, to build something of stability and value. And so Scorpio, you might really be feeling a lot of this sense of like you want to leave a legacy, you want to leave something lasting behind that helps everyone, not just yourself. And you're really thinking about this, but don't let it get to the point of like overly worried, overly fearful, etc. You know, try to work through it, talk through it, and then, you know, start to take the steps one by one to get to that plan, to get to that manifestation that you really want to. This is a strong, powerful year. That Ace of Pentacles came up twice. So to me, this is a big year of manifesting. This is a big year of, you know, really putting some things into, you know, the physical world that you have been dreaming about, thinking about for a long time. Just don't let those anxieties and critical thinking get the best of you. All right, Scorpio, so here's your affirmation card for 2020. This is a really fun deck. I love it. The Affirmators cards. It has a bunny riding a unicorn on the backs. And so your card is no need to do. And look at that. One side's going do this, one's going do that, and he made a little hammock and he's taken a nap instead. So this is beautiful. I am exactly where I need to be, exactly when I need to be. There's nothing more I need to do. I mean, yes, there will always be laundry and taxes, but in terms of my life's path, I don't need to do anything because I am already here. I take a deep breath, relax, and trust, and then do laundry. So Scorpio, this is important because this is an ambitious year. It's a year where you're probably going to be getting a lot done and a lot's going to be going on. So this is telling you, just remember that, you know, stay in the moment, stay grounded, and sometimes the best thing to do is just be. Because if you're feeling really frustrated or you're feeling stuck or you're feeling, you know, just that burden of like, I've got to do, this is the universe saying, Scorpio, take a little break out. It's all going to be okay. Regroup, and then you'll be able to handle your projects and your goals from a greater place of peace and stillness. So thank you so much for joining me for your 2020 reading. I will be back with more, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.